All right, YouTube, I'm sick, but I'm still here, still showing up. Today I wanted to talk about exactly why chasing perfection is holding you back from your goals. Now listen, a lot of people wait for everything to be perfect. A lot of people want everything to be perfect before they start. And if it's not perfect when they do start, then they just quit immediately and they're like, I can't get to results because it's not perfect. When in reality, you should be focusing on progress over perfection. Let me give you a great example. This is a very, very common example. I have a sore throat and it's super dry, so I got to drink. So I'll be drinking throughout this. But anyways, when it comes to protein intake specifically, a lot of people, when they're not tracking, they get below 100 grams of protein easily. When I wasn't tracking my calories, I was getting below 100 grams of protein easily, right? And then people are like, oh my God, I got to get 1 to 2 grams per pound body weight as soon as they start training. And if they weigh 250 pounds, they think they have to get 250 to 500 grams of protein a day. And then when they can't do that, they quit and they're like, this is just too hard. Let me go back to my old habits. When instead of chasing that perfection, you can get anywhere from 0.7 to 1 gram per pound body weight, right, of your goal weight. So if you're 250 and you're trying to get to like 200, then anywhere between 170 or 160 to 200 is good enough for protein. But honestly, I've noticed with clients that 150 is more than enough. I do 150 plus. That's what I go for because it's very realistic. I can fit a lot of different things into it, and I can do that 365 days a year. Whereas if I were to aim for 200 to 300, anywhere in that range, that'd be more unsustainable, right? Because then I'd be eating way more lean meats, 99.1 beef, 99.1 turkey, chicken breast, and I don't really like those foods. I'll be honest with you, I don't. I prefer 90-10, ground beef, 93.7 turkey, turkey burgers, ground sirloin, all of that. When I fit that into my nutrition, it's very tasty, it's very easy to put into different recipes, and it takes a lot of pressure off of me, right? Not having to hit 250, 300 grams of protein, because that is a lot of protein and that limits what you can actually eat, making it less sustainable for you. So a lot of people think that they have to hit that certain number, but think about this. If you usually eat less than 100 grams of protein when you don't track, then eating 150 is huge progress, especially if you eat 150 every single day of the year. That's insane progress, right? And you'll start to see results just from that. Same thing with the gym. A lot of people do not go to the gym at all, and then January rush comes around, you guys all know this, or summertime comes around, or they just decide, you know what, I'm gonna reach my goals in 4 weeks, right? They wanna lose 40 pounds in 4 weeks, they're dedicated. So instead of just doing, 4 days a week, since they were doing 0 for the past 6 months, they do 2-a-days for 7 days straight and then burn out and wonder why they burned out, and they feel like they're not motivated anymore, when in reality, they didn't set out with realistic expectations, but also they didn't pace themselves and they didn't focus on just making progress instead of having this perfect or overdoing the routine, you know what I mean? A lot of times less is more, guys. Less is more, but you also want to remember, you want to look at your own progress and never compare yourself to someone who's on like year 12 or year 20 or year 30 of their journey when you're on day 1, right? So for example, if you're on day 1 and you can't lift a lot, that's not a problem. Everyone started as nothing, all right? So that's fine. In a month, when you're making progress, right, if you go up by 20 pounds in your bench, 20 pounds in your squat, that's progress. Write that down and celebrate that. Because if you compound that over time, then you're gonna be at your goals and you'll be where everybody, everybody that you aspire to be is as well. But a lot of times, after a couple of months, we go up in 50 pounds on our workouts. We go up in 50 pounds on squats, bench. You go up 10 pounds on side raises. You go up 100 pounds on shrugs. You go up 100 pounds on deadlifts. And instead of celebrating it, you compare it to someone who's been in the gym for 15 years and you're like, I'm just not good enough, I'm gonna quit. When in reality, you should celebrate that progress and realize that you've come a long way, and at your current pace in a year, you will be way closer to that person than, if you quit, obviously. And the only way to get further away from your goal is to quit. Like, that's the dumbest thing to do. A lot of people quit because everything's not perfect. Another thing is when people say, a lot of people do this, by the way, a lot of people will say, man, like, for example, if you're 200 pounds and you want to get to 170, a lot of people will be like, yeah, I'm 200 pounds, I got a lot of belly fat. I'll be happy when I'm 170. Listen, you have to be happy throughout the journey. Well, not happy. You have to be content and focused throughout the journey, because when you get to your goal, you're still gonna have to maintain that goal, right? Of course, those results and being dedicated is gonna help you, feel fulfilled in that moment. However, what's really gonna make you feel fulfilled is when you show up on day 1 and you actually do everything that you said you were gonna do. Like, a lot of us have something in our head that we've been talking about for years, like, I'm gonna lose that weight, I'm gonna lose that weight, I'm gonna finally hit the gym, I'm gonna be consistent, I'm actually gonna meal prep, and I'm actually gonna eat it. When I meal prep, I'm not gonna DoorDash, I'm actually gonna eat my meal prep. A lot of us have been saying that for years. When you start to execute that week after week after week and you see those results start to compound, in your head, you'll already be at your goal self, and you'll realize it's only a matter of time before you reach your goal self. For example, let me give you an example, guys. I took some Sudafed before this and Dayquil. Probably not a good combination. Anyways, so when I was 226, right, I had bad habits, which were keeping me at 226 and could have potentially took me to like 250. I'm pretty sure I got up to 230, but I stayed off the scale for a while because it was embarrassing, right? I had habits and I had a bad mindset. That's what kept me at 226, right? So before I got to my goal, my initial goal was 190, right? And I got to like 193. So before I got to my goal of 193, I had to change my mindset. I had to change my habits, right? And when I showed up for myself and I actually followed through with what I said I was going to do, and I actually did what I was supposed to do when no one was looking, then I started to have that self-belief. I started to have that integrity. I started to have that belief in the journey, and I started to become that person that I need to become at my goal self, right? So halfway through the journey, I already knew I was going to reach my goal because I was so consistent with what I was doing and I was showing up for myself. And that feeling, that dedication is what it really takes to get to your goal. A lot of us think that like as soon as you get on your fitness journey, it's just going to be perfect. You're going to lose the same amount of weight every week. Everything's going to be easy. Life is going to be better. Now, when you reach your goal, obviously, life is going to be better. And when you're reaching your goal, life will be better because your health will be better, energy will be higher and everything. But you still have to put in the work and you still have to be consistent. Those things still matter. All right. So I just wanted you to know, everyone watching this video, focus on progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection. Like, comment, subscribe.